G'day my little Robins, it's me Beth. Another week has passed, which means you get another video from, well, me. And if you haven't already read the title of the video, I'm delving back into the world of fanfiction. That's right, I have shown you how to write fanfiction. I have shown you how to write fanfiction summaries. And a few of you in the comments asked me, Beth, how do you plan your fanfictions and what are, your publishing schedules and the best days to upload on Wattpad? And I thought, why the hell not, make it my Monday video. Just a quick note, I'm sorry there wasn't a video on Friday. I had a whole reaction video lined up. I uploaded it and then then YouTube went and blocked it for copyright reasons, so I took it down because I don't want to get, a strike on my account. Enough about that. I love fanfiction, I write a lot of it. I have a Wattpad and a Tumblr. I will leave links to them in the description box below if you want to go check them out. Today I'm going to be using one of my ongoing fanfictions, A Demon Child, which is Emotionless in White / Black Veiled Brides fanfiction. Some of you might be aware that I haven't actually updated it in a few months, so hey ho, let's see how this goes. I'm just going to share with you, 4 points that I use when I am, planning my fanfictions, and hopefully it can help at least one of you improve your fanfiction. Sorry, I need a drink. For those of you curious, I'm drinking J2O out of my London Underground mug because I'm fancy ass. I'm a fancy ass bitch. Before we begin the video, if you want to support me and the channel, click like and smash that subscribe button because, well, there's nothing stopping you. But let's just dive right into this how to write fanfiction plans video. Before we begin the video, apologies, why it's suddenly gone dark. The sun was really bright. The only way I could tackle it was, pulling my blinds down, so the rest of the video, might be a bit darker. I don't really care. I'm letting you guys know. Let's just get back into the video. First thing I like to do when I'm planning a new fanfiction is writing a plot or summary. This is the summary for my fanfiction Demon Child. It will appear here in editing. Now, I'm not really going to go into much detail about plotting a summary because I did a whole video on how to write fanfiction summaries, which is available on my YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video, but I highly recommend you go check that out if you want some tips on how to write a good summary. Let's just move right on to the next point. The second thing I like to do is something that you're probably going to think is a bit mundane. If I can find the actual page in my book. I actually do a character lineup. It will appear right here. Now you're probably thinking, Beth, if you're doing a fanfiction, I do a lot of band related fanfics, like you should know the members of the bands. But if I'm doing a bandfic, I can have multiple members from different bands appear in the story as main characters or side characters. I just like having, written down, the name of the person, their age next to it, like whether or not, I'm doing a human fic or if I'm doing like a paranormal one where they're going to have like a whole different age. And then underneath it I just like to do 2 or 3 lines of a description for the person within the fanfiction. Yeah. Oh, when it focuses, it's pretty simple really, and I do that for all the characters, main and side characters. I think for this one I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3.5 pages in this small notebook just for characters in Demon Child. Also, because some of my vampires have abilities, I also write that under the description so that I know this is what they can do. And yeah, it's simple really. Have a character list. Now the third thing I don't do for all my fanfictions, but I did it for Demon Child because I was doing like a paranormal fanfiction that involves vampires, and that is a backstory. Can't see it because of that. Editing, it will appear right here. That's right, I have a backstory page, or in this case 1, 2, 3. 3 backstory pages for all the vampires in my fanfictions. I just have, the century that, they became vampires in, and I have each person. Like for example here I have 1216, which is the 13th century, which is when Chris and Andy become vampires. I describe what they were like as human, and then how they actually became vampires. Emerald, she's a witch. Yeah, pretty much self-explanatory. Backstory. It's just so you know that when they're meeting like the human characters for the first time and it's like, I'm a vampire, here's my backstory, I can just, you know, go back and quote this, and it just makes it a lot easier because I know some of you are sticklers for details when it comes to characters, and I like a lot of detail in my plans. Even though I'll probably be the only person that ever sees these, it like warms my soul that I'm that organised. Now the fourth and final thing I do when I'm plotting my fanfictions, which this is the point that a lot of you actually wanted to hear, is how I actually plan my chapters out, because most of the time if I know where I'm going with a fanfiction, I can just wing it and I will just, you know, splurt out a load of words onto a page and upload it. But if I'm doing like an in-depth fanfiction, for example, my Demon Child one, it's got like a lot of parts, a lot of side story, etc. It's got a lot of pieces. I like to plan each chapter out individually. This is just a page for Demon Child for chapter 10. And what I like to do is, in fanfictions you have different character point of views. So I pretty much like to write down as I go along in the chapter, you know, which character point of view it's going to be at different times, you know, times of the day. And then pretty much next to that character, like a couple of bullet points about what they're going to do in the chapter and how they're going to react to things. Also, at this point I should say that in each chapter I like to have, you know, 3 points, you know, 3 main points that have to happen by the end of the chapter. You can have 1 or 2. I like to have 3 main things that happen because it just, you know, hikes up the drama and the stakes in the story, quite literally. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say other than that, because everybody is different, everyone has different techniques. I know writers that don't use my techniques. This is just my techniques that I'm going to share with you guys because you asked for it, and I hope I can help at least, you know, one person plot a fanfiction a lot better than, you know, you're doing right now, because fanfiction and Wattpad is a community and I love giving back to you guys. Now those were just my 4 points that I use when I am plotting all my fanfictions, but another question that popped up in, you know, the YouTube comments when I was, you know, making this video, and that was, you know, about upload schedules and what is the best day to publish to Wattpad in order to get, you know, the most reads and the most votes. For those of you who don't know, Wattpad do have an algorithm. It does change from time to time, and I don't actually really know the specifics of their algorithm. All I know is that the best day to upload I've found for my stories is Friday, because it's end of the week, you know, people are ending school, people are ending work for the weekend, and it just seems to be that's when the majority of people, you know, update. It's when I tend to update. I have in the past updated on, you know, different days of the week, but I have found I've got my most traffic and audience on a Friday. I don't recommend a Saturday. Saturday apparently is the worst day to upload to Wattpad because everyone, you know, has overwhelmed the site on a Friday. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Friday is probably the best day to upload, but I couldn't really tell you about the algorithm and, you know, how to get more reads and votes, because you just have to let it be a natural thing. I didn't think half my fanfictions, you know, would get the reads or votes they have, but they have, you know. I highly recommend, if you do want reads and votes, you know, link all your social media, share it on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, get it out there, and, you know, communicate with the people who are reading your stories, and it might, you know, get you a few more followers along the line. I'm just ending this how to plan fanfiction video right here. In the comments below, I'd love, you know, to hear, you know, your guys' thoughts on like how do you plan your fanfictions? Has this video helped you? You know, maybe even, you know, leave like a link or your Wattpad name and I might, you know, check out your, you know, page and your stories, you know, somewhere down the line when I have some time. While you're down there, you can also check out all the links to my social media, including my Wattpad fanfiction page and my 2 Tumblr fanfiction pages. That's right, I have 2 Tumblr fanfiction blogs, one for YouTubers and one for band members. Yeah, don't know why I did that. You know, if you want to support me and the channel, you know, click like, and you can click my face right here to subscribe to the channel, because I try and upload on a Monday and a Friday when YouTube's not, you know, being a bit of a pain in my ass and, you know, taking down my videos.